about the President's address. As we witnessed this year, I believe the Honorable President is aware the circumstances that lead to such an unprecedented incident. Yet, unfortunately, it was not seen reflected in his address. The farmers of the country are in the streets for the past 75 days across the country protesting against the corporate-oriented agriculture reforms. Madam, what was the urgency to bring the three reforms acts without any consultation or opportunity for debate in the parliament by promulgating ordinance when the whole country was fighting against the COVID-19? The farmers are apprehensive of the reforms aimed at righting of the agriculture sector of this country to the corporates, seriously affecting the income and livelihood. Don't the so-called annadatas of the country deserve the better treatments, madam? It is disappointing that instead of acknowledging the reality behind the farmers' protest, the Honorable President tried to justify the wrongdoings of the insensitive government of his address. How can the Honorable President claim on behalf of the government that Parliament approved the legislation after extensive consultation in Parliament? How can he forget that his own government refused to send this legislation to a select committee for a wider consultation, even after repeated requests, including ruling coalition partners in both houses? Instead of acknowledging the reasonable demands made by the farmers, the government is trying to suppress the unparalleled uprising of the sons and daughters of the soil of this country by use of brutal force, imposing draconian laws and portraying them as anti-nationals. In paragraph 25, the Honorable President reminds us that the government holds the high esteem the value of democracy and sanctity of the Constitution. He has also spoke at length about the government respects for freedom of expression and peaceful agitation in a democratic setup. The farmers in Delhi have been agitating, upholding these very principles in peaceful and respectable manner all these days, and even the tractor rally was conducted after reaching the agreement with the Delhi police and without affecting the grace of Republic Day celebration. But it is said that all of a sudden, group of people allegedly reached the Red Fort and hosted the flags there. Is it possible to even approach the Red Fort without the support of the Delhi police, breaching the strong security arrangements there, especially on the Republic Day? Then how come some mischievous elements hoist some other flags there without the government's secret support? I will not wonder if someone suspects as a plot of the government is also tarnish the image of the farmers using anti-social farmers. The 50 minutes discussion is only 5 minutes more. Please, you. Will the government show the courage to order the independent inquiry is to this incident to bring out of this truth? I am not narrating more than this, madam. I hope everybody will understand that this careless attitude of the government towards the millions of farmers of the country that leads to boycotting the Honorable President's address. The last week group of people claimed the public attacked the peaceful farmer. Their tents were forcibly removed and they were charged for the vandalism and criminal conspiracy. Cases are charged against the leaders, MPs including Dr. Shashi Tharoor and journalists. Your government is going through undeclared emergency in this country. Madam, let me move to other major issues of the address. Towards the end of the speech, the President raised the 87th point, issue of abrogation of the Article 370, and claimed that the people of Kashmir have been empowered with new entitlement. But no one knows about the veracity of the claim, and reports from these suggest just the opposite. How one would believe such a claim by the government which cunningly circumvented... Sir, 1 minute more. Sir, I am going to the concluding this speech. I am asking whether the government will ready to constitute a all-party delegation with the proportional representatives to visit Kashmir and verify the truth behind the claim. If it has, at least can regard the democracy in Kashmir, let it come forward. Sir, only one. I'm concluding with a point. Only one minute. Sir, I am concluding with a few lines of the Dino Dano poem of the great son of India, Rabindranath Tagore, which I hope will remind the government of His Holiness. In the very year in which 20 millions of your subjects struck by terrible drought, the pauperized masses without any food or shelter came begging at your door crying for help, only to be turned away. They were forced to take refuge in forests, caves, camping under the roadside cottages, derelict and old temples.
बैठी कर बोलना है। ठीक ठीक।
माननीय सभापति महोदया, महामहिम राष्ट्रपति महोदय